Chloe's Promise by Barbara Panetta, read by Ben Shephard. On a very sunny day, little Aunt Chloe was collecting some food to prepare for the coming winter. "This is hard work," she cried. The sky was blue with not a single cloud in sight. All her friends were enjoying the beautiful weather. "Come and play with us, it's fun," they all shouted together. After many long days working under the scorching sun, Chloe was very tired, but still she had so much left to do. "I cannot carry on like this. I need to stop," she sighed. She thought, and thought again, until suddenly she had an idea. Perhaps she could ask her mum and dad for a day off. Then she went home to think about the best way to ask them, but fell asleep instead. In the dark night, even the moon was gently resting. The next day, when the sun was already bright and shining, little Chloe woke up. She decided to call all her brothers and sisters. 10 of them arrived in a row, like tiny soldiers. Then she shared with them her idea of a day of fun with no work. They were all enthusiastic. But first, they had to ask Mum and Dad's permission. "Mummy, Daddy, we desperately need a day of rest. If you give us a day off, the next day we will work even harder." "This is a promise," she declared with a beaming smile. Mum and Dad paused, puzzled by what Chloe said. "I don't think it is possible, because if we stop now, we might not have enough food for the winter," said Dad. "Daddy is right. There's a long winter ahead. There is no time for a break," said Mum. So the little ants waited anxiously, hoping that their parents would change their mind. Mummy Ant looked very worried and couldn't really decide what to say. Daddy Ant thought long and hard, and in the end decided to trust his little ones and allow them a day of fun. The little ants were overjoyed to be finally free from any work. Each of them chose their favourite activity. Little Chloe, who loved music, felt so happy that she started to play the piano, delighting her brothers and sisters with a beautiful melody by Chopin, her favourite composer. At the sunset, the ants were as tired as if they'd been working for the whole day. And so keeping Chloe's promise to work even harder the following day would not be easy. The next day, at 6 o'clock in the morning, Mummy and Daddy Ant were impatiently waiting at the kitchen table, certain that the little ants would not be awake in time for breakfast. "I'm sure they are still in bed asleep," thought Mum. "Perhaps we should not have allowed them a whole day off," thought Dad. But before Mummy and Daddy Ant could say their thoughts out loud, they were surprised to see that the little ants had arrived, full of energy and ready for the day. Yes! They had kept their promise. From that moment, Mummy and Daddy Ant trusted their little ants' promises and always agreed to a day of fun. "Hooray!" they all shouted. everyone was very happy. So, if you have some time today, come with us and we can play. Love, Chloe.